offers optimal environment. Okay, so it's going to provide you the optimal environment for running bag of task, applications and workflow. Okay, so that it is going to provide. So here what will happen, the scientists who are going to explore the new programming models for tackling computationally challenging problems. So it's going to be also be used by the scientist. So the no most relevant option for your uh, the most relevant option for your existing application to run using some of the basic infrastructure is your IaaS. So your infrastructure as a service, what it is going to provide. So it is going to offer you the optimal environment. So it's going to provide you the optimal environment for running the bag of task applications and workflow. So by having what? By having the virtual machine instances. So you're going to have the sandboxing environment. So it is nothing but your virtual machine instances. So whenever you are going to have the IaaS as a solution, so you are going to have the VN instances which will be coming into the picture. So virtual machine instances will be there. So virtual machine instances which will be coming. There will be customized towards the required software stack for running such applications, and they are going to be coordinated together with distributed computing middleware. Okay. So next, you after as you are going to we are going to have some of the service which is provided through PaaS also. That is your platform as a service. So this in this particular, if you are using, what it is going to provide for a scientist is the next question. So if I am going to allow this particular platform as a service, it is going to allow science to explore new programming models. So in this particular platform, so it's going to provide you the new programming models. Okay, scientific explore new programming models. So this particular part will be used by your PaaS. So where it is going to new programming models will be developed. So for changing and computationally challenging problems. So for this type of problems, they are going to make use of platform as a service. So now here, when you are using these particular new programming models, what I have to do for the applications which have been built? So the whatever the applications you have been built, it has to be redesigned and re-implemented. So it has to be redesigned and re-implemented on what? On top of your cloud programming application models. So then after deploying or after implementing on top of the application model, so these platforms which are there, that has to leverage their unique capabilities. What are the different capabilities are there for that particular application to run? So that has to be taken into consideration, and it has to provide that particular model with features, and it has to be redesigned, and it has to be hosted on top of your cloud. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. So this some of the case studies we have discussed in when you are discussing your module 3 only with respect to Aneka. Okay, so let us see one by one. So where it has been used. The first scientific applications where it has been used in your healthcare. So that is in your ECG analysis in the cloud. So here is the healthcare is the domain where your cloud will be used. So in which the computer technology has found several and diverse applications. So what purpose it is going to be used? For supporting your business functions. So it is going to be used for supporting your business functions. So how it will be helping your business? So it will support doctors in providing more efficient diagnostic process. So that means what? So if I keep, for example, X person is having some disease. So if X person is having some disease, so he will be showing to some patient doctor, right? So doctor will be there. So he will be showing to that doctor. So the doctor will be maintaining the database. Okay. So maintaining database of patient. The database of patient. So when doctor is maintaining the uh, database of a patient, okay. So if at some place, so if you are go for a remote place or some tour you are going to go, so something happens to the person X, something happens to person X, what I have to do at that time? So what condition he is in? Because when the unknown person became to the hospital, what will happen? So that person doesn't know what is the uh, in which scenario that particular patient is in. So what type of condition that particular patient is in. So now at that time, what will happen? If I feed his name and the number, so it has to display all the consent relevant documents, or it is the history of that particular patient. So if it has whether he is going to have some serious problem in the past, depending upon that one, he has to be diagnosed. So to have that particular type of scenario, so you are there, it is to be done. So here, whatever going to happen, so the internet connectivity and accessibility from any device to at any time has to be made. And this particular cloud technologies which are to be used will be an attractive option. So when you're going to have this particular type of scenario, so it will be having the appropriate options for developing the health monitoring system. Okay. So here what will happen? So either in this particular part, so we're going to make the illustration. So this is a basic figure which you are going to have here. So with the help of the user request will be there. So a number of users will be asking. So you are going to have the user. So here is going to have the ECG sensor at this particular part. So you're going to have the embedded Bluetooth enabled data communication and processor model will be there, and ECG sensor model will be there. So now, so this is the typical illustration of the infrastructure and model for supporting the remote ECG monitoring. So if you want to provide the remote ECG monitoring, so here what we are doing, so we are doing the remote ECG monitoring. Okay. So now whatever the wearable computing devices equipped with ECG sensors, I constantly monitor the patient's heartbeat. So you are going to have the sensors, it will that particular wearable computing devices will be wear by the patient. So you are going to have the patients, right? So that is user ear is nothing but the patient. Okay. So he is going to wear some wearable devices. So that particular wearable devices which is going to be having, so that will be monitoring the heartbeat of the patient. So now once that particular monitoring has been done, so that particular information will be sent to the patient's mobile device. Okay, so once that particular information is going to take, so what how much heartbeat is happening, so at what rate it is the heartbeat is going to happen, so that particular uh, sensing of that particular heartbeat will be constantly monitored and it will be sent to the cloud. So it with this whatever the information you are going to have, so that will be transmitted to the patient's mobile devices. So now these after the mobile device, after that particular information is sent to the mobile devices, from there it is going to be transmitted to the, from there it is going to forward it to the cloud hosted web services. So from the user mobile, so it is going to be provide to the cloud. Okay, so here you are going to have the wearable device. This is the user. So user is wearing the wearable device. So in the wearable device, you are going to have the sensor. So after having the sensor and is going to have the Bluetooth enabled data communication processor model, ECG sensor model. The sensor model, what it is going to a sensor, here it is going to sense, it is going to sense the heartbeat. After checking the heartbeat, where it is going to send, it is going to send to the mobile through the Bluetooth connectivity. So you're going to have the wearable device. So after checking the heartbeat, at what rate the heartbeat is being, that will be transferred to the Bluetooth. So after doing to the Bluetooth, so this particular mobile device which will be there, that will be eventually forwarded to the what? So that will be eventually forward to the cloud host. So this is your cloud host. Okay, this is your cloud host. So cloud hosted web services for this particular cloud, it is going to send the information of that particular patient to be analysis. So now here the web service which you're going to have. So if you take the web services will be the front end. So it consists of software applications which you're going to have. So that will be that will store the ECG data. That application is going to store the ECG data. So now whatever the web service you are going to form, so that will be the front end of a platform. So that will be entirely hosted on the cloud. And whatever the service you are going to leverage on the cloud, so that will be leveraged through the three different services. So whatever the leverage through three different services, what are the three different services? That is either is SaaS, that is through SaaS also it will leverage, that is through PaaS also it is going to leverage. So your IaaS it is going to leverage this particular. So now the web services contains the SaaS application also that will store the ECG data. So where it is going to store the ECG data, that particular data. So it is going to store in your S3. That is your simple storage services. Okay, that will be stored in S3 service and issue a processing request. So now to where it is going to process the processing request, the processing request will be placed to the platform. Okay, so it will processing request will be processed to the scalable applications. Okay, so scalable workflow engine like Aneka will be there. Some of the different vendors are there who is going to provide you the scalable runtime environment. So to that particular scalable runtime environment, so this particular data will be fed. Once this particular data is fed, so here what will happen? The number of workflow engines instances will be created. So you're going to have the workflow instances, workflow instances which are there, which will be controlled by the number of requests. So you're going to have the number of instances here in the IaaS only. You're going to have the number of instances. Okay, so these instances which are going to have, so this instance will be controlled by the number of instances, and it will be queued up by the instances which you're going to have. So now in this one, in this particular scenario, the runtime environment which you're going to have, it is by Aneka, which is going to be provided. So it is going to control you through what? Through the control of the EC2 instances, because these two are different vendors. So Aneka is cloud from Microsoft. Okay, so this is from your Amazon. Okay, so that will provide you the runtime environment which you are going to have. Okay, so if any problem is found, so if any problem is found when that particular instance is being done, so what the after analysis of that particular data, what I need to do, so I have doing the remote monitoring. So once the data is been scaled and it is going to provide you the runtime environment, so it will, the data will be analyzed. Once the data is analyzed, so now after the data analysis, if any problem is found, okay, so if once you are going to get the data, so if any problem is found, what I need to do, I have to inform to the concerned doctor. So if any problem occurs, inform to concerned doctor. So I have to inform to concerned doctor for medications purpose. So if a concerned doctor for medication or any immediate first aid has to be taken. So if I want to take the first aid, so if I want first aid mechanism, if I want to take, they have to make use of that one, and they have to call the first aid personnel and uh, and inform them to go to that particular specific patient and you take care of that particular patient. So now, so even though the remote monitoring, remote cloud which are going to have, this is a typical scenario for which is we use for health ECG analysis. Okay. So now here, what will happen during that particular time? So whenever you are going to have the remote monitoring services, right? So you're going to have the remote ECG monitoring, which you are going to have. So it does not necessarily require the cloud technologies. So, but the cloud computing, what it is introducing, so it is introducing the opportunity that will be behaving in a different fashion, which is hardly achievable. So that processing has to be done, and so if the processing has to be done, it has to be fast. So if I don't have the infrastructure which is going to process that particular application faster, then it will be a problem, right? So here, that is advantage what you are going to have if you leverage this particular application inside to be deployed in the cloud. So here the first advantage is what you are going to have is the elasticity of the cloud infrastructure. So if you take the elasticity of the cloud infrastructure, somehow depending upon the type of the application which you have to run, so the infrastructure can grow or shrink, okay, according to the request of the user served. Okay, so as a result of this elasticity, what will happen? So the doctors and nurses or cloud hospitals which are going to monitor that particular patient need not have to invest more on that particular infrastructure, so they can effectively use their budget. Okay, so then after having the second advantage is they can have the simplicity. Okay, so that is going to happen, which is going to have, so it's a simple applications will be running in effective manner. So now whatever the cloud technology we are having in today's world, okay, so that can be easily accessible, so that is easily accessible and it can be easily deliverable. So it can be easily accessible and easily deliverable with minimum or no downtime. So that means it doesn't have any downtime. So your access is going to have minimum time. So if you're going to have the minimum time, it's going to have what? No downtime. So that means your cloud will be running for all 24/7. So your cloud will be running all 24/7. So it won't include any downtime. So no downtime won't be there. So that particular. So here, whatever the cloud computing hosted in the cloud are accessible from any internet devices. Okay, so whatever the service you are going to provide it here, the service which you are going to access through the cloud, so it can be accessed or hosted in any of the cloud internet devices. So through simple interfaces like your WWS, there are some of the interfaces which you already described. So like your either it may be accessed through the service or access internet device which is having the service of type SOAP, that is simple object access protocol, or it can be used with REST APIs. So where is your representation of state transfer which you are going to have. So it is going to, by using all these things, what your cloud is providing. So cloud is basically easily integrating with the other systems, which is basically used in your hospital. Okay, so and it will be that particular, that is the main reason why they are going to make use in your scientific healthcare sector. So if you are going to use like this, so what will be reduced? Obviously the infrastructure which the hospital has to procure, so that will be reduced. Okay, the infrastructure for the hospital will be reduced. So obviously the cost which is being uh, invested for that particular infrastructure by the hospital will also get reduced. So finally, cost is the main factors. So they are going to reduce the cost. So by using the cloud technology in healthcare. So as we are having the cloud services, so whatever the cloud services we are going to access, right? So that will be priced as pay per use, right? So as we have seen that pay per use, it is going to be used, and it is going to have the high volume prices for large number of service requests. So depending upon the type of the request which are being made, you can say at the top. So depending upon the type of the request and the number of services which you are going to have, number of requests, so the price will be done. So if the number of requests are more, obviously the price of that particular service will be more. So if the number of requests is less, obviously the charging will also be left. So by having this one, so the charging cost what you are going to have depends upon the request. Okay, so if we are going to have, it is basically based on what? So it is clearly based on the effective use of the capital cost. So it is based effectively use of the effective use of capital cost it is going to have. So by having this one, you can reduce the cost which is being incurred in your scientific applications. Okay, so the next field which they are going to use in your biology, where the protein structure prediction will be there. So in this particular protein structure predictions, where it requires high computing capabilities. So it requires high computing capabilities. Why it requires high computing capabilities? Since your protein structure prediction requires large data set. So when you are going to have a large data set, so more number of IO operations has to be done. So more number of IO operations has to be done. So when you are going to have the more number of IO operations, so large data, more number of IO operations. So more number of IO operations, it requires high computing. It requires high computing. So that's why. So these type of applications where you are using in protein structure prediction. So it basically having the extensive use of supercomputing and cluster computing infrastructures. Okay. So next we are going to have the it is basically a computing computationally intensive task which you are going to have. So next, if you are discussing with your protein structure prediction, so you are going to have the geometric structure of a protein which cannot be directly interfered from the sequence of genes. So you're going to have the protein structure. So geometric structure will be there for any genes. If you take a gene, so for a particular gene, it is going to have some protein structure, right? So it is going to have the protein structure. So this particular protein structure which you are going to have, so it cannot be directly inferred. Okay. So protein structure, it cannot be directly inferred from the gene. So what type of structure that particular person is having, and what is the structure of that particular directly not inferred. So it is not inferring directly, so directly not inferred. So as a result of this one, so that particular processing what you require, it will be intensive. So that's why you require the complex computation, which will be aimed at identifying the structure. So now to have this particular part, so what you are going to make use of, to have much processing, so some of the times they are going to make use of machine learning techniques. Some of the machine learning techniques they are going to make use of. So since we are going to make use of cluster computing infrastructure, so that they are going to have the clustering algorithms are there. So where they are going to use for that particular algorithm to have the accuracy of the structure of the gene which you are going to have. Okay, so I will stop here now. So tomorrow we will discuss about the next class. We'll discuss about how it will be done. Okay, so anybody having any doubt, you can ask.